All right, in this video, we're going to learn how to install the Canary system, and we're first going to take a look at the historian server. It's typically what you would install first, and with the components that are involved with it. It's also going to be where you want to install the identity service, so that has to be the first machine that you install something on. It has to contain the identity service because other services have to connect and communicate with the identity service if they're remote. So we'll step through that as we go through the install. And so we're just going to start by running this as an admin. Okay, so we're prompted here. We're going to select the custom install. And then it has some services that are already pre-checked for the server applications for the historian server. So we're going to have the admin service, and whenever we have the admin service, we're always going to have the admin client that goes with it. Here's the Axiom core, which Axiom clients will connect to. Calcs and events. Here's the historian. And so here we have the identity service, and you have the option of if it's going to be local or remote. So we're going to choose the local install. If it was remote, then that would assume that the identity service has already been installed somewhere else. And we would be pointing these services to it. But we're going to, since this is the first one, this is going to be local. And then we're also going to choose a local license server. And now, if we want to select other options, we can. So if you have ODBC, if you're going to license that, you can select it if you want to choose the publisher. The receiver would really only be if you're upgrading from a version prior to version 24. Everything prior to version 24 uses the sender and receiver combination to send data. So this is strictly just a version 24, so I'm not going to include the receiver or the sender, but just know that if you had other collectors out there that were still running on version 23, they would still be using a sender and receiver, so we would include that if we were upgrading this to version 24. But the store and forward service is the new feature that's taking over for sender and receiver. This is how data is transported using the store and forward service. And then we're going to have views, a local view service to the historian. And then, all right, so the admin client's already selected. If he had Excel on the historian server, if you wanted to choose that, you could. Typically, it's not. Same thing with the ODBC client. That's typically installed on client machines. And then if you had any local collectors that were reaching out to a data source to collect data, you could include them here. This is strictly going to be a historian server, and we're going to assume that all of the data collection is happening on other servers. So we're going to uncheck the OBCDA. And then you have, if you want to test with MQTT, we do include the Mosquito MQTT server. That would really be if you're using the MQTT collector or the publisher, which can publish to an MQTT broker. So we're going to use that, and then we're going to hit next. And here on the next page, we can see, okay, where do you want to store the HDB3 files? This is the actual data files that are going to be stored for each data set, the program data, and then where the applications are going to be installed. So you have a initial shot here to change them if you want, if you have other drives, so you can specify those paths. So we're just going to take all the defaults. Click Next, and it's going to give you the list of things it's going to install. And we'll click Install. Okay, we can see we had a successful install. So I'm going to click Close. I should have Canary Admin I can open up. It's going to prompt me here to authenticate against the identity service. So okay. So here we have all the different tiles, the things that we've installed. And yeah, that's it. It's as simple as that. So probably the next step we would take is to start licensing it, but we'll save that for another video. Thanks for watching.